every artist has to figure out exactly when's the best time for them to partner with a label. But you shouldn't be looking for a label. The label should be looking for you. If you're looking for the label, you're already in a bad situation.
Drop the bomb, man. Where are you at with the bomb?
One of the biggest obstacles artists face in the music game is access. Getting access to the people that can make it happen, or access to the information and resources you need to get to the next level. That's the key. That's why you need two of the biggest in the game on your side. Introducing McKee, Boomman. Welcome to the real industrial plug. You heard me?
And this last 10 minutes has been so important because it's like I want the young generation to know the mindset that it takes to elevate in the music business and from a career standpoint and from an entrepreneurial standpoint, because it's the same mindset. Nobody's going to outwork me. I'm going to do more than they ask me to do. It's just like if you think, how they love to say Mamba Mentality. If they tell you to get up 1,000 shots, Kobe going to go in there and get up 10,000 because he wants you to know you'll never outwork him. You know what I mean? And so everything you just displayed are the characteristics necessary to elevate in the music business, whether you're an entrepreneur or a career person. You know what I mean? And so that's super important. But then, like you said, somebody eventually came and recognized that. And so, what's his name again?
Daryl Harvey.
Is he still in the industry?
I think Daryl retired. He no, you know what? He still does consulting and stuff like that.
Okay.
But me and him keep contact to this day.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you gotta give my man some flowers. You know.
Yeah. That's why you gotta say his name. You can't just be like, some dude hooked me up. Like, nah, that man got a name.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what was the position in LA that opened up?
West Coast Regional Director of Artist Development. So yeah. I had 1/3 of the country, and it was just like the label liaison whenever artists came in town for events in stores and stuff like that. You set stuff up. You made sure that they had product in independent retailers, mom and pop record stores and stuff across the country. You set up in-store events with Best Buy. I set up brand opportunities.
Right.
Something with New Era and, anything that opened up. You know what I'm saying?
So you moved to LA, and this was what year?
2012.
2012. And so, okay, boom, we in LA, we in the building. How do you transition then to A&R?
Shit, the thing is, that was the end goal for me anyway.
Okay.
So it was a matter of just put me in a room. You know what I'm saying? Just put me in a room. You move me to LA. I know it's gonna be a need for it because what I got, somebody gonna want. So you put me in the space, and I just started politicking and working my moves simultaneously at the same time. No ID, shout out Dion, had just signed Reese and Dirk to Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? And them was little brothers that I had bumped into around the crib anyway. So, it was kind of attaching myself with them and letting them know, I don't care what they say, I'm going to be here to support y'all, through it all, you know what I'm saying? And, Smirk was the one that ended up continuing to grow or whatnot and just really getting close to him, spending time with him because, for years, he was a developing act and it wasn't it wasn't what it is now. So he didn't have a bunch of people in the building, rocking. So, that was like my little brother and still is to this day. So I wouldn't finna, miss the opportunity to work with him in a closer capacity. And at the time, Motown and Def Jam were brother and sister label kind of connected.
Yeah.
So I ended up also working and reporting for Ethiopia Have to Marry Him. Yeah. And when QC and stuff first came over to Motown, I was there, and I A&R Young Greatness and stuff like that. Rest in peace, Teddy.
R.I.P.
But just putting myself in those positions where it's I had to learn the hard way. People can't tell you who you are, what you do. You got to show them. So by virtue, if you practice it, then you'll become it.
Right. I mean, you said it. Just the exact words: putting yourself in a position. Nobody came to you and said, "I want you to be an A&R." You made the moves yourself to put yourself in position to be an A&R, and then the title followed.
Yeah.
So another word you said in there and this is I'm gonna give you one of my confessions, right?
Yeah.
Like not obviously because some people may not know, but I've always worked for myself. I've never worked inside a label until more recently when I worked at Alamo.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I feared about working for the label was the quote unquote politics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so tell us about, like, you know, I really want to get to the nitty gritty. Like, what are politics in the music industry? People probably hear that word a lot. Politics. What does that mean?
Politics. Politics, in any facet, whether it's the recording industry, whether you're talking about, you know, government, it's a series of rules that we all have to abide by. The politics essentially are nuances surrounding those rules, how to navigate those rules, and proper protocol and procedure. Now, your business acumen is what reflects your politics, right? That starts with, you know, who you are as an individual, how you carry yourself. Your face card is what we call it day to day. Yeah. But inside of business, just like you got a line of credit, your FICO score and shit like that, you got to have that same line of credit as a man or a woman, right? That becomes your business acumen, and that begins to be your face card in the industry, how you navigate around those rules, procedures, and politics and whatnot. I'm sorry, rules, politics, and engagement. That's the politics. So, for instance, you know, you get a job as a marketing manager, you might have to report to 2 people, right? Yeah. Now, you like one person more than the other because they're a little bit funner. They empower you. And, you know, they tell you can move around with them. They take you to dinners and stuff like that. The other person really uses you as like a glorified intern. You know, they don't really empower you. They kind of belittle you. They refer to you as an assistant, X, Y, Z. Right? So you want to rock with this one person that actually shows you love. But if you do, you isolate yourself against that other person. You don't know where this person's going to end up. Right. The politic of it is, how do you manage that relationship? How do you navigate that relationship between those 2 individuals? So the natural inclination is to say, "F you, I'm going to spend more time and get in more energy and do the bare minimum for you." Yeah. But you can't do that. So you got to stand in the middle. Right. The person that's showing you love, you go above and beyond for them. But you also got to show the person that's shitting on you, I'm going to be there every step of the way for you too. Because even though you doing me dirty, or you might be brown, I can't afford for you to get to a higher rank and a higher place and bite my back out. You know what I'm saying? Jesus or in other words, shit on me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's such small quarters in the recording industry. Yeah. Everybody's going to end up in another place. That's the politic of it.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So, number one, you saw the attitude it takes. You know what I mean? The mindset it takes. Now you're seeing the IQ, because the way that my brother just broke that down, that was the best definition I could have ever asked for, man. So you need the IQ, but then obviously you need to understand the politics, which for me, on the outside looking in today, like I said, I used to be scared of politics. You know what I mean? I don't know how to play that game. You know, as a black person, you be like, no, I can't be fake. You know what I mean? That's what we love to say. I used to be scared of that, but as I grew older and wiser, it's really just relationships. How are you going to manage and maintain those relationships, whether they like you or not, whether they rooting for you or not, whether, you know what I'm saying, like you said, whether they're belittling you a lot. Like even I'll give one of my examples. There was a person that super shit on me back in the day. I should use a better word. What'd you say, bite my back out?
Yeah, bite my back out.
There was a person that bit my back out back in the day. You know what I mean? But then later on down the line, they reached out to me because they wanted my help. And I told my friends, I was on the phone with my friend, I'm like, man, you know what? I'm not even going to consider what happened back then. They want my help, I'm going to help them. You know what I mean? That was me, I guess, technically having good politics. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to be political, but what I was trying to do was maintain all relationships. You know what I mean? I forget about the past, forget about what happened in the past. Keep good relationships with everybody. It's like the Bible says, you show love to everyone. You know what I mean? You show love to everyone. And so if you're worried about the politics of the game, just know, be a good human being. Show love regardless. You know what? However they treat you doesn't matter. It's how you treat them. You know what I mean? That's what's important. That's how you want to carry yourself. Okay, so now that we've had the most beautiful definition of politics, I really want to talk to you about my other fear.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm going back to the beginning of my career or closer to the beginning of my career. One of my other fears was signing with major labels, which you are the representative of today.
Yeah, sure.
One of my other fears with signing with majors was loss of momentum. I always used to be so scared. It's like, man, okay, we're gonna do the deal, but we got to keep our foot on the gas. And I've been burnt. I've had situations where we did keep the foot on the gas, and I've had situations where the brakes got hit. So how do you?
I find that to be a two-way street, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like,
talk to us.
Like, a lot of times, the artists will come into a situation with a major, and they get lax. They feel as if it's gonna be a certain sense of urgency because they signed to a label. But the truth of the matter is, like, every successful artist I know treated their independent business, treated their own like inner circle like an independent business and ran it as such, right?
Right.
Meaning they came up with ideation, they came up with the creative vision, and they started the execution on their own. Right. And the labels just come and amplify. I think the misconception about labels is that they're here to build and mold you from ground up. That might have been the case 30 years ago, right?
Right.
But with social media, streaming, and consumption being so rapid, and it being so much music submitted in the ethos, you got to think it's 80,000 songs submitted every Friday on new music. 80,000 new records you're competing against, right?
Right.
So with that being said, the label doesn't have time to find Broad Street Chucky, and he got no following. Yeah. He ain't doing no shows. He ain't selling no merch. Instagram following is 250, and groom Broad Street Chucky up like this 1995, and Puffy putting Craig Mack together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is a different day and age. So now if you're gonna do business with Broad Street Chucky, it's gotta be a spark, because labels don't take you from 0 to 100, they take you from 50 to 100.
Yeah.
So Broad Street Chucky.
I hope y'all know that. Say that again. They take you from 50 to 100, not 0 to 100.
Record labels are there to magnify what's already there. Yeah. So if it's something sizzling, they pour gas on it, it explodes, right? And sometimes every artist don't need the same thing, right? Yeah. Some need a radio presence. Some need help with branding. Some artists have sat outside a label for so long, been successful in their own right, and maybe they want a little bit of commercial success, right? Right. Because they got a healthy tour and they making money off of merch and stuff like that, but yet they can't get the magazine write-ups on time. You know what I'm saying? Right. Maybe they're not getting the Billboard. Maybe they're not getting on the list and stuff like that they want to do. And that might be the thing separating them from, transcending into that next tier of act, right? Yeah. And which helps the booking and helps the billing and helps the touring, bigger shows, getting invited on festivals and shit like that. So, I think every artist has to figure out exactly when's the best time for them to partner with a label. But, you shouldn't be looking for a label. The label should be looking for you. If you're looking for the label, you're already in a bad situation.
Drop the bomb, man. Where are you at with the bombs, man?